Got a long ways to go. We got one on the electric. One on the hand crank. She about slid me off the boat. What's up, everybody? Bluegabe. Yesterday I went with my good buddy Tom with blind date charters off the coast of Fort Myers. We went 130 miles offshore and we caught the fish that you see as the thumbnail, which is called a kitty Mitchell grouper. Super, super rare. But it's not as rare as this little guy that we also caught. This is called a Creole snapper. It's so rare that there's not even much studies on them, and they don't even have any kind of rules or regulations on them because they don't know enough about it. If you're wondering why we kept him, we caught him in 500 foot of water, so his eyeballs were popping out, he was full of air, and he was not gonna make it back. There was tons of barracudas and sharks under the boat. I got a big one on. My brand new Mags custom rod. It's been slow, but the sharks are bad, and I just...
Hey, Junior.
As I just said, a shark just ate it.
It's been a long day so far. Slow bite, lots of sharks. Summertime. Yeah, we got a grouper coming up maybe.
It sure got awful heavy. I think a shark ate it.
Well, it's your turn. See that he put it in low gear. Wind, wind, wind. It's like a winch. He's grunting.
I'm over this shark deal, I can tell you that. You can't get a fish off the bottom.
Snap.
So we kept him, but what I am gonna do is take his body. I'm gonna keep his meat and I'm gonna clean him without getting into the guts, and I'm gonna donate it to researchers so they can study this little dude. But what we're gonna do for this video that's a little bit different than most, I don't think my brother Robert Deer Meat for Dinner's done one, and I definitely haven't done one. I want to show you and teach you my way of keeping fish fresh, so when I put it in the freezer and I pull it out a year from now, it's just as good. Any of you guys that go fishing, when you come back, you have bags that look just like this, just tons of fish thrown in them. They still got all the slime that comes along with cleaning them, the skin, and you just take it in a Ziploc, put it in here, zip it up, throw it in the freezer. Well, to me, that's absolutely horrible. So I'm gonna show you guys the best way that I've found to preserve this meat and freeze it to where when you pull it out in a year or 2 years, it's literally like you just killed it and cleaned it. And I'm gonna do so with a vacuum sealer. I've got some of these bags right here. I've got my vacuum sealer right here. I'm gonna skin it, and then I'm gonna show y'all how I do the rest of it. And it's not just as easy as vacuum sealing, so you might wanna bear with me. I'm gonna also clean this little Creole snapper. All right, so I'm gonna take the fillets off the grouper. So when we were fishing yesterday, it was crazy. We caught blue tile fish, yellow edge grouper, scamp grouper, kitty Mitchell grouper, big red porgies. We caught all kinds of stuff. It was an amazing fishing trip. So right now I just took the skin off and I'm taking the pin bone off. So this fillet is ready to eat. There's no bones, no bloodline, and it's ready to eat. This is where the important part to me comes into play. I take paper towel just like that and I lay it on there and I fold it up and I let all the moisture on the fillet soak into those paper towels, and I'll do all the rest of this fish and I'll show you the next step. All right, so you see that? I have all my fillets in these paper towels, and that might seem wasteful to you, but how wasteful is it if you burn all that fuel and all that money and bait and tackle and go fishing, and you come to pull your fish out in whatever, 3 months, and it's frostbitten and it isn't worth eating. So a roll of paper towels is about $2, and this fish right here will stay good for a long time. I get all the moisture out because that's what causes frostbite like that on fish. Take the fillet like this. I mean, this food saver right here is probably 10, 15 years old. It only cost $100 when I bought it. I don't think they're but about 150 now. So it's paid for itself many a times. Get the fillet in there nice and even, just like that. Put it in here. Vacuum. seal. That's it. That fish will stay fresh for so long, you won't even believe it. Now, I've been getting a ton of questions. What happened to Frank? Where'd Frank the blue crab go? Because as you can see, he's not in this tank. And oh yeah, I got a surprise. He's not in either one of those two tanks, but we got some awesome creatures that will be. He's over here, next to my biggest whitetail buck I've ever killed. Northern Central Missouri. Yeah, with my bow. Look at that. Frank, wake up. Time to feed you. He loves deer meat. He loves anything you give him, really. What in the world, Goby? Oh boy, he's gonna explode. Let's see. There he comes. He's like, hello, feed me. Frank, turn around for the camera. Well, he's not gonna show you guys much. Unfortunately. This is little Goby friend. For those of y'all that are new to the channel, I caught that crab about 8 months ago and that little Goby. And both of them were about this big. They've grown up in that tank together for the last 8 months. Frank shed 4 times and he hasn't shed since. But we're gonna let him live in this tank for the rest of his days. Look at that thing though. And that one, that's weird. Let's go watch us catch a few of these fish. Now you gotta take into consideration that we were fishing in 500 foot of water. We had one little electric reel and one hand cranking rod. So I can't really show you the footage of reeling the fish all the way up because it took like 30 minutes for each fish. But when the Kitty Mitchell popped up, we weren't even filming. We were like, what? I grabbed the GoPro, boom, we got him. So hey, it just is what it is. It was a fun day of fishing. You guys have seen a ton of fishing shows. I wanted to take time and show you guys how to preserve this fish, because if you do it this way, I promise you, you'll never regret it. $100 vacuum sealer, bags are about 20 bucks, and I'm telling you, it's the way to go. $120 miles from land and a little Tweety bird just landed on the boat. What are the odds? Coming back. It's like we're a battleship and he's a fighter jet getting ready, or an aircraft carrier, and he's getting ready to land. Except he's been drinking. That feels good. How good do you think that feels? He's probably been flying for days. But buddy, I gotta catch a fish right now. I think he just landed because he had an itch. Look, he's itching it. That's pretty neat.
That is so cool.
Look at this thing, y'all. My first one I've ever seen. Oh, shit. Old Nick Stanzik, what do you think about the Kitty Mitchell? Look at that.
Oh, that's so exciting.
From 500 foot,
oh
hand cranking.
gosh.
That's awesome. Look at the colors on him though. Y'all, we've been fishing for hours, as I just about fell down, with not very many bites, but he's got so many numbers. I'm telling you, Captain Tom, when you come with him, he's not one of these captains that's just gonna come out here and say, well, they're not biting, let's go in. We keep fishing and keep fishing and keep fishing. And we just got a Kitty Mitchell grouper. I've never seen one in my life.
So exciting.
Can't wait to put them on the grill.
On the grill.
Hey, tell everybody where you're at.
We're 130 miles offshore Fort Myers, in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
35 meters. What's happening? Did you tell him whose rod that is?
You want to swap?
Nope.
Look, y'all see that? Mag's Custom Rods. Dude builds a legit strong rod with a lot of bend in it so it doesn't hurt your back. Tall fish.
Big old towel? Yeah, caught all the way up.
Porgy.
You get a porgy?
Yeah.
Porgy in almost 500 feet of water. Caught all the way up.
I probably got 300 more feet to go. You guys wonder why we use electric? This is why it's a lot of work when they're down deep and you're hand cranking them. And you only have X amount of hours when you're out here fishing because it's a 4-hour ride out, 4-hour ride back in. Electric just helps you speed that process up. And the reel he's using, you can hand crank just as easy.
Yeah, but we just get the meat in the boat.
The meat in the boat.
What do you think it is? We got color. He's still out there. We got 2 fish on there.
Of some kind.
A yellow edge.
He just spit up a bunch of guts over there. I know that.
Looks like a yellow edge.
It's a big scamp, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a scamp.
A big scamp.
Nice. And you lost that fish back there. We lost one over there.
Yeah, what is that?
We'll back up on that. I don't know. It's pink.
It still counts.
Maybe a yellow eye?
Still counts as mine.
Hello.
So far we got a kitty Mitchell, some big scamps, we got some yellow edge, and we got a snowy grouper, so doing pretty good. And there's one of my fish that just came off. Oh my, gotta be kidding me. Oh, we got him. When you catch these fish out here in real deep water, they expand, they fill up with air. And luckily for me, he was already full of air, so once he come off the hook, he just floated to the surface.
Come on.
He's coming. It's funny, we fished all day long and haven't had very many bites, and now we're filling the box in the last hour of the day, but it's such a far run in that we almost got to quit here soon, because by the time we get in and I get home, it's gonna be like midnight.
Finish him off the right way.
Big scamp. Or yellow edge or scamp.
2 fish on there.
Stop reeling. What we got?
Porgy and a scamp.
A porgy.
On the top hook.
I won't complain about a scamp.
What they look like.
I love their green eyeballs. As y'all can see, we have caught the mess out of some fish. I think we got 10 keeper grouper, bunch of nice scamps, this crazy looking thing that y'all have already seen. We got some of these, and we got one mystery fish. Where'd the mystery fish go? I don't know what none of us know what this is, and it's not on fish rules. Hopefully it's not federally protected because it's coming to shore with us, and we'll see when we get there.
So, I use this little knife to kind of outline the fish. Makes it a little easier as I go. And I come across the tail. For a grouper, they got small scales.
What kind of knife are you using?
Oh, that's Danco's knife. That's all I use.
Is it Danco or Danco?
I say Danco. What'd I say? And then once I outline it.
I apologize for the shadows, y'all. I'm 3 hours from home, still got to drive back, so we're getting it done right here, right now.
After I outline it, I just start following the backbone down, not leaving any meat behind. Go over the backbone. Feel your way through like every other fish. Go over the rib cage. Just keep on cooking. And get up on top of these ribs here. They do have a pretty big rib cage. Make a little cut right there. Give yourself a little something to hold on to. And run the knife down.
Just like that. All right, y'all, we'll see you back at my house in Stuart, Florida, just like always. All right, so that's the piece of the Kitty Mitchell. Now, there was 3 of us on the boat. They were really stoked to try it. I'm like, I just need a little bit. I brought a bunch of the scamp grouper though, because it's my favorite, and it's right here. All vacuum sealed up. I'm keeping this one big bag because I have some guests coming into town next week. But these 3 bags Kelly Young and I are taking tomorrow to Texas. We're going to Texas to go catch giant alligator gar and huge blue catfish down close to Laredo, Texas, right on the border, and it's going to be so fun. I've had this trip planned for a while, and I haven't said anything to anybody. Tomorrow we're getting on a flight from Palm Beach to San Antonio, and we'll be there fishing with my buddy Cam, who owns Texas King Outdoors, who I fished with in the Mexico bass fishing tournament that I was in back in January, I think. Awesome dude, and I can't wait to see him again. And I'm bringing his family some fresh grouper. I've got the little piece of Kitty Mitchell that I cut in half because this piece is much bigger than the other half of it. So I separated them, and I got the Creole snapper. I'm gonna make this super, super simple. Dano's Original. Just like so. Pat it in, because the fish is really dry. I always cook my fish after I've got it dried off. Repeat. Now Lukey's here, so he likes a fried style fish, but I'm not gonna deep fry it. I'm just gonna pan fry it. Put it in flour. Just like so. It already smells so good. All right, so for the big chunk of Kitty Mitchell, I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing this the way I like to eat it. So that's it. A little bit of the Dano's Original. I've got a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter, and a little bit of lime. I've got onions, jalapenos, and then I'm gonna add some garlic and some ginger. Turn that heat up, and it's gonna be so good. But can y'all smell that? Y'all, this is the most helpful tool in the whole wide world. You see how I just did that so easy? Oh, so good. Now, one thing I want to tell you guys about Blind Date Charters. I fished with him 3 times, and all 3 times I've caught amazing fish. Please, if you're coming to the Fort Myers area, look him up. I'll have all of his information in the link below. So about 2 minutes on each side, and it's done. Lukey, come here and say hi to your fans. You got anything you want to say to your fans?
Fish is hard to cook sometimes.
Look at this right here, though.
Saltwater fish doesn't.
So good. Turn that grease down a little bit. I know it looks like it's burning, but the reason it looks like it's burning is I actually added butter in the olive oil just to give it a little bit of extra flavor. All right, so I removed the bigger chunk of grouper. See it there? It's not cooked all the way. I cleaned the pan and started over because I'm gonna do something completely different. Garlic, ginger, jalapenos, and onions. I'm gonna stir all that up. Turn the heat down. Take the piece of fish, put it back in. Grab a heavy lid and just set it on top. I'm gonna let that pan cool down, and in the meantime the fish will be cooking and it'll soak up all those flavors, and it's gonna be so good. But can y'all smell that? I can assure you that smells as good as anything you'll ever eat. But would you look at that? Look at the jalapenos and onions and how it's sort of crispy on the outside. Ooh, corn, a little bit of the Creole snapper. What you got, Luke? You just got snapper, huh? All right, Luke, you say the blessing.
Okay, thank you, Lord, for a beautiful day, and help my dad have a safe trip. And everybody that's going somewhere far away, help them and do everything. And you Lord, amen.
Amen. What you think? It's really good, huh? Let's try this though. Woo! So good. Get a little bit of the onions, a little bit of the jalapeno. Mm-hmm. I grew up not liking ginger. Ooh, that had a bite to it. But Robert got me into it slowly but surely, and now I love it. Luke and I are going to sit here and enjoy this meal together. Tomorrow morning I leave for Texas. He's going to go with his mom and my mom for a couple days. Jake's on his way home from the Keys. Hey, thanks for following. Check out Capt Tom Blind Date Charters. Check out Kelly Young's channel because her and I are leaving for Texas and there's big things coming. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. But like Jake always says, it's time to get up out of here and get the heck out of the what?
Get the heck out of shape.
See ya.